we turn our backs on struggling working families, or do we respond to their pain? We should all be very, very clear. The working class of this country today faces more economic desperation than at any time since the Great Depression of the 1930s. And working families need help now. Not next year, but right now. Last night, the House of Representatives, with a 2/3 majority, 275 to 134, 2/3 bipartisan vote, moved to increase.
Many of you are wondering what exactly is the new timeline for the fourth round of stimulus checks. Well, the good news is that $2,000 direct payments have been confirmed. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf has actually recently launched a push for the General Assembly to pass legislation that would send $2,000 direct payments to many people in Pennsylvania. The legislation will be part of the $500 million Opportunity Program funded by the American Rescue Plan Act. In a new statement, Governor Wolf, he said that Pennsylvanians should not have to choose between paying for utilities or groceries, childcare or gas. We have the opportunity and the means to ensure that they're not struggling, to ensure their success. I'm asking the General Assembly to unite across aisles on this for the sake of every Pennsylvanian. And let's get this money out of our coffers into the pockets of people in Pennsylvania. Now, Governor Wolf has put forward the proposal in late April, and according to the governor, Democratic leaders in both the House and Senate are on board to introduce bills to support the program. Governor Wolf has stated times are tough right now, as prices have gone up on everything from gas to groceries. I support long-term solutions to better support working families, like raising the minimum wage, but I'm also proposing a solution to help people in Pennsylvania get back on their feet right now. Now, this plan will reportedly provide $2,000 direct checks to people in Pennsylvania, making $80,000 or less. The program aims to help families still recovering economically from a crisis, or support them with covering crisis-related costs and managing the current everyday increase in cost of living. Pennsylvania currently has over $2 billion in federal American Rescue Plan Act aid. If not used by December 31st, 2024, the funds will be sent back to the federal government. Massachusetts is also another state taking some big action. Governor Baker announced his plan for a second round of $500 payments to low-income workers under the Crisis Essential Employee Premium Pay Program. That program was passed by Massachusetts legislature and signed by the governor in December 2021 as part of a $4 billion spending plan for American Rescue Plan Act funds. These payments would deliver approximately $165 million to an estimated 330,000 eligible individuals in June. The first round of payments distributed in March 2022 provided $500 checks to approximately 480,000 people. Individuals in the second round of payments did not receive payments in the first round. With the second round of payments, over $400 million of the $460 million program will have been distributed to eligible individuals. The eligibility parameters for the second round of payments largely mirror those of the first round, but criteria has been updated for annual charges and minimum wage and federal poverty level calculations. Eligibility will be based on file 2021 Massachusetts tax returns. Individuals will be eligible for payments if their income from employment was at least $13,000. The legislation creating the premium pay program includes $500 million for low-income essential workers, and this $500 million program comprises the majority of those funds. And $40 million was allocated to fund previous agreements with state employee unions.
From the pandemic, thanks to the efforts of Congress and the Biden-Harris administration, our economy has added a record 8.3 million jobs since the start of 2021, and the unemployment rate has fallen to 3.6%. Despite this progress, we know that job openings currently exceed job applicants, and employers are clamoring for skilled workers. In fact, research suggests that workers are leaving their jobs to seek better career opportunities in record numbers. This bill would take a critical step towards empowering workers to fill those competitive job positions and, in turn, help reduce supply chain shortages, lower costs for families, increase their incomes, and improve our business competitiveness. Madam Speaker, investing in workforce development has historically been a priority for both Democrats and Republicans. That's why our committee conducted an extended bipartisan process to put this legislation together, despite the opposition we've heard from our colleagues today. As our economy rebounds from the pandemic, we should all agree that we must take this opportunity to expand access to high-quality job training opportunities for America's workers. I want to thank my colleague again, Ms. Wilson, for her leadership in bringing this critical legislation.
So there is an amazing deal for new stimulus checks, everybody, from President Biden, Democrats, and Republicans. Hopefully, everybody, President Biden can step up to the plate and help out the American people with stimulus payments. If you think you can, then tell me in the comments. So we have a lot of good news to cover about the fourth stimulus check. You want to be sure to stay until the end of the video to find out the most important information. You don't want to miss out on this. So as early as June, new stimulus payments will be available in Maine, and over 800,000 Americans stand to receive the benefits. The $1.2 billion supplemental budget proposal by Governor Janet Mills was passed into law on April 20th. And after the bill was passed, the governor said, what this budget shows once again is through hard work and in negotiations that Democrats and Republicans can come together on what is right for the people of Maine. Now, estimates show that about 850,000 residents of Maine will receive checks, with individual taxpayers with an income of up to $100,000 all eligible. Now, that figure becomes $150,000 if you're head of household, or $200,000 if you're filing jointly. Older residents and lower-income homeowners and tenants have also been offered a property tax relief. Additionally, $20 million will be set aside to fund up to 2 years of free community college for students who are eligible and either have or plan to graduate between 2020 and 2023. There is also $3 million in legal funds to help the lobster industry, which is crucial in Maine as they fight the federal government over rules protecting endangered species. What was missing and many had expected to feature was extra funding for legal services for the poorest residents in Maine. Social Security beneficiaries may also see an increase very soon in monthly benefits. Inflation is actually hurting some communities hard as the crisis evolves, and despite more than 170 million payments being sent out in the third round of stimulus checks, the fourth stimulus payment is still being pushed for. The Senior Citizens League, a nonpartisan advocacy group, started a pressure campaign to push Congress to send those receiving Social Security additional stimulus money. In a letter to leaders of Congress, the chairman called for one-off payments of $1,400 for people that are seniors. Such a measure could actually help defray the cost associated for some seniors from the 2022 COLA, which was the highest in 40 years. That pushes them into a higher tax bracket. This all in reaction to the high levels of inflation that the American economy is dealing with. Prices across the country are reaching record highs, and for those on a fixed income like Social Security, they're seeing rapid decreases in their purchasing power. The Bureau of Labor Statistics have reported that since October 2020, consumers are paying on average 6.2% more across the market. Prices of food are going up 5.3%, while energy costs are up more than 30%. So this just proves that more federal stimulus money must be approved. And according to a new report, state